Hi everyone, welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take a moment to pause and reflect on the word of the Lord. Today I'm going to be speaking about the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 9, verses 57 through 62. People come and say they want to follow Jesus, but Jesus doesn't give them a soft answer. Let's listen. As Jesus and his disciples were proceeding on their journey, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus answered him, "Foxes have dens, and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head." And to another he said, "Follow me." But he replied, "Lord, let me go first and bury my father." But he answered him, "Let the dead bury their dead, but you go and proclaim the kingdom of God." And another said, "I will follow you, Lord, but first let me say farewell to my family at home." Jesus answered him, "No one who sets a hand to the plow and looks to what was left behind is fit for the kingdom of God." It seems like people want to follow him, but they want to do whatever they need to do first. But Jesus is telling them to leave everything behind and follow him now. During his time period, rabbis often had disciples who would travel with them. But those rabbis usually had homes, stability, and family support. Jesus was radically different. He's saying discipleship means total trust in God, no guarantees for comfort, security, or expectations. For example, burying your father was one of the most sacred duties in the Jewish culture. So for Jesus to say, "Let the dead bury their dead," would have sounded very shocking. It's not that he was against family love. He was saying God's kingdom demands priority over any custom. We live in a world where we feel like safety and routines and control help us. Jesus' words remind us that discipleship is not about convenience. It's about being committed. Sometimes following him means letting go of comfort zones, plans, or approval from others. The question is, what's holding us back? What good excuse keeps us from fully following him? So journal prompts for this passage would be, where do I feel Jesus is calling me out of comfort into a deeper trust? And what excuses do I tend to give when I feel like I am being invited forward? If following Jesus costs me something important, how would I respond? And then finally, how can I make God's kingdom a top priority this week? Jesus doesn't want us to half follow him. That's the challenge.